Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Paul's Monday Market Update, number 203 for Monday, 10th of November, 2025. As always, you are very welcome here, okay? But just remember that you are always responsible for your own trading decisions. This is a little bit different for us. This is RedCat Holdings, RCAT, okay? Weekly chart. Who are they? Why would you, be of interest to them? RedCat, I have watched for a while. Okay, they are a very US small cap, right? That specialize in, unmanned aerial systems for defense and commercial usage, and they provide FPV and reconnaissance drones to the US Department of Defense. So, what we have seen is that basically the world in his wife is getting excited about not only the upside potential from drones, but also whether in Mr. Hesketh and his new direction for the Pentagon and Department of Defense, and whether that's going to include new sort of Department of Defense drone procurement initiatives based off the back of what's been going on in the Ukraine conflict and also in the Middle East, and also with basically the sort of moves across NATO and other, let's say, Western governments. And so, of course, traders and investors are interested in companies that are at the forefront or are certainly involved in that. Now, as I said, this is a weekly chart of RedCat, and as you can see, it has been a rather volatile kind of last year. Okay, so let's bring up the old drawing tool here. We were nicely drifting our way up to around about from about $1 to $3, and then everybody gets excited, and we can see that we jumped from around about the $4 mark up to around about this $15 mark here. Okay, $15, literally, shot our way up, but then also came all the way back down. A really nice big bearish, bearish key reversal candle there, engulfing candle. And what happened is, and this is where I start to get interested, is we've come back, okay, to the 50 period moving average, and actually opportunities to buy in around the sort of $5 to $6 mark, okay, as prices found support at that 50 period moving average. And then we moved our way back up to 10, big round number there. So I've got it drawn in there. Once again, okay, as we have seen basically a little bit of excitement in Europe, okay, over the, let's say, incursions by Russian drones. That gets everybody excited. And then invariably we saw once again price bounce its way up or roar its way up to that sort of $15, $16 mark. But once again, and pretty much like most of those defense companies, we have seen them sort of tail off there. And now what I see and where we are, last week we closed beneath $10, and we bounced off that 50. We came back down to test it, and so I'm starting to get interested. Is this a case that they've got their earnings on Thursday? Okay, will those numbers be good? Would those numbers provide support from $10 and the 50 and races back higher, or are there any kind of dodgy numbers or dubious goings on that could effectively provide a bit of a rug pull on RedCat, in which case $10 turns from being support to resistance, and we slice through that 50, which we have not which we've not been below for some time. So it's going to be an interesting week for RedCat, and as I said, you might want to add that just to your watch list to see how that particularly plays out.